Hello everyone, this is Diane. Thank you for coming back to my channel today. I'm going to be doing some work on the windows and doors journals. I have to catch myself because there's a Dan Fogelberg song. I'm a huge Dan Fogelberg fan, and he has a song called Windows and Walls, and I keep wanting to say that. Anyway, that's what we're going to work on today, but I do want to mention that yes, I have exceeded 20,000 subscribers, so I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you very, very much for all of you who have subscribed, and even in 2023, it just took a couple days to get over that 20,000, and we're still going. So that's really awesome. So I just wanted you to know that I am working on putting together a box of goodies. I had some stuff in this box months ago, and I've just started thinking about what else to put in here. So I've got some fabric and little ephemera pieces and some fibers and trims. I even have a Stampin' Up! Ink pad because I ordered a duplicate of this one by mistake. So it's a nice soft suede, and I like to use that one. It's a nice brown color. So there's lots of stuff, and I'll go into detail in here when I have it full. So I just wanted you to know I am working on it because I have promised that I would do a giveaway when I hit 20,000. So when I'm done with these journals, we will do that. So let me just show you. I worked very hard the last 2 days on these books, and once I got to a certain stage with both of them, so there's trim and tabs and some tags and things that I completed in both journals, and then I just focused on the one so I would know exactly what I was doing, and I could just finish this one and then do all of those things in the other book. So this is the first journal, and I wanted to show you this. This is what I wanted to show you. All the tabs, fabric and lace tabs. Isn't that pretty? And the rest of it we'll see as we go through. So we've got some fun things to work on. This one already has the tag in the front pocket. In here I'm going to add this little house number. Those house numbers are really fun to use in this journal. And I'm going to stamp before I glue that down. So I just have this swirly stamp I've had for a long time. It's from Stampin' Up! From 2007. And I'm going to turn it over and stamp it on the other side. And then just glue this in between. I'll have to look back in my orders from Etsy and see where these house number digital images came from. I've been using them quite a bit. There's one there. And on this page, on this side of the page, I have some things prepared. I am going to glue a couple of the window images from Junk Journal Mama from her kit, which is now called Window Garden. I'm going to glue a couple of these images as pockets. This has a window looking out onto a field. And this one looks out onto a barn or an outbuilding or something. And then I just have a couple of random small tags to tuck in. I don't know if I'll use this or another kind of a string, but I guess I didn't want it to be that long, but it does have to have one. Is this one better? Maybe that one's better in there. And I'll put some baker's twine or something in there. And we already made this pocket on one of our videos earlier. It's made with the heavy press board that the journal cover itself is made out of. This was a scrap piece. So I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac to glue down this heavy piece. I'm going to hold it for a few seconds because coffee dyed paper tends to buckle and it might be a little hard to adhere something this heavy on it. Although I did iron all of my coffee dyed papers that I'm using in this book. It's pretty good. And then I have this house number, which I already inked around. There's a house number there too. And I have this Mrs. Coggs card called, her set is called The Wisdom of Doors. So she has images of doors and a quote, "The door of the human heart can only be opened from the inside." Love that bright blue door and the shutters on that window against the whitewashed or white painted building. It's probably in Europe somewhere. And this is the first signature of the second journal. As I said, I already sewed on the tabs and I stamped some of the stamps. So there's a house there, and I glued that on. As I was prepping for this video yesterday, I was gathering supplies and I thought I might as well just glue that on because that's all it requires, and then I'll have to find something to put inside that. I don't have anything right now. That's the digital from Junk Journal Mama. So there's this painterly looking scene, and it's got a, I guess it's a window opening there, but it looks like a cement. I don't know if it is. Maybe it's wood covering over it. And this part came with the kit too, the backing page. I don't have anything going on here. I might be able to use some of these definitions that I glued to cardstock. I'm waiting till I have both of the journals done, matched up together, so whatever's done in the first one I want done in here before I start using more of those. So here we have some of those definitions that I just glued onto little pieces of scrapbook paper and made pockets. And put some little pieces of ephemera. This is the one I already did. So I need this page. This is going to be a fun page. Something unique. Take this stuff off of the back. So this is a book page from, I think, Bella Grace. And this just has a pair of boots and some stairs, but on this side we have a beautiful window. So I want to cover that page. I'm going to take this fun green cross-stitch chart from a book and fold it in half. And it will be attached to the page. And fold this flap down. And on this one, I hand stitched around there. And I still have all this to cover. I'm going to use this piece from a fax page. Maybe I need a bigger piece. That worked on this one, but this had a white lined space for writing on the actual book page down here. So I don't know, do I want to cover more? Let me see if I can find a little bit bigger page. Or just add a piece down here. Could even add a decorative piece to just add a little more color to the page. I woke up not feeling, I don't feel sick, but just not top notch, and I'm feeling it in my croaky throat. But I hope I'm not coming down with something. Well, that's kind of fun because this looks like cross stitch and that's cross stitch. You're not going to see much of this. I think I like the yellow to show. Yeah, we'll do that. And I'm not going to have a lot of time today because I have a dentist appointment at 2, but then my son called me this morning and invited me to join him for lunch. So I'll do that before my dentist appointment, and then after my appointment I'll be very close to my daughter's house, so I'm going to go check in on them. What time is it now? Okay, I have an hour and a half before I'm meeting my son for lunch, or he's going to pick me up. And I got a late start because I wasn't feeling super energetic this morning. That's okay. I've been working hard the last 2 days. And I just want to add this embroidered green ribbon, and I'm almost out of it. I think I have a small piece left. It's been fun. I have a red one too. I got them at a flea market. And I tend to hoard things like that, but I've been slowly using it up. I should have moved my fax paper down a little lower so you could see that sentence at the top, but I messed that up. Now, I don't think I want to take the time to hand sew that right now. Hopefully, I don't know if I'll be able to do it after I glue it all together. Oh, and also I was going to stitch around this, so I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do, okay? So I just sewed around that before applying it here, and then I glued it. So I have to sew around that, and then I will just take some embroidery floss and sew that flap down, and then glue this down. And I will glue around the pocket to make it a pocket. And then this part will just be loose, so you can write on that. And I'll have to cover that. So this is going to be attached, and then it will be glued here and here. And then I will take this piece of green paper that I dyed and just fold it, fold the entire piece, and it will be tucked into the pocket, so you have a whole page to write on, front and back. Like that. So I still have a little work to do on that. On the inside, I'm going to just add this scrap of coffee dye or dyed paper. I dyed some things with RIT dye a while back, and add this fun label that I stamped on a strip of coffee dyed paper. So these are both cut off pieces from previous projects. And then I'm just going to add some washi tape down here for this pretty color. I like to add pretty colors. We already have this piece of ribbon. And on this piece, on the back page, I have a digital, Sears wallpaper was the digital, and I think it was from TLC. And I'm going to add this card from Mrs. Coggs. Happiness often sneaks in through a door you didn't know you left open. John Barrymore. I'm just going to glue this down, and it's light enough you'll be able to write on whatever space is available. but I'm going to tuck some writing things inside the pocket. Thought I got out some index cards. I guess not, so I have them right here. I have this little vintage box. It has recipe cards that I copy dyed, or index cards, not recipe cards. And these are just plain. But that one does have lines on it. That one's plain. So I'm just going to add some tabs, and I punched these out with my tab punch out of scraps of the paper that I used for this journal. Looks like a wall with peeled paint, and this is a really fun paper. You probably saw it in the other journal. I know we looked at that page today, and it looks like assorted colors of boards. Anyway, it's just a fun paper, and I'm going to just attach the tab. I know I have cards prepped because I sewed around them. See, these are sewn around. What did I do with those cards? Oh, I see the problem. I started prepping it last night and ran out of bobbin thread. So I was going to reload the bobbin and finish that before I started the video, and then completely forgot. So this one's done. I have a house stamped on it. I'm glad I prepped for this video last night, even though I forgot some of it, because, you know, slow start, and all of a sudden I have stuff to do that I didn't know I was going to do today, like meeting my son for lunch. Okay, so then I have to sew around this, and I'm going to do that before I attach that tab, but that will go in there. So sorry about that. I thought I would have them all ready for you, but it'll end up looking like this. So that's a fun page. Sorry, I was trying to think. Okay, yes, that's a fun page. Now, I have a copy dyed page with a really fun stamp to apply to it. I put these where they belong so I don't lose track of them. You know how I can be. There. That didn't work. Okay. I have a set that I almost forgot about. An old set of stamps. And actually these come from a variety of different sets. Most of these are from Stampin' Up. And there's lots of keys and a little lock. And this pretty lock. And this did not come from Stampin' Up, but I keep it with these. It's from Stamp It. I probably got it at a craft store. Back when I used to, we didn't have any near here, but my friends and I would take a long road trip to Syracuse, where there were a couple of stamp stores. And that's probably where I bought this. And it says $19.99 on it. But it's a really fun doorknob. And I hardly ever use it, but it's perfect for this. I'm so glad I remembered these stamps. I remembered the keys and I went looking for them. And then I had forgotten that this was in there. So, of course I was delighted to find that. And then on this side I'm just going to stamp some keys. This one's not Stampin' Up. Magenta. Oh, I remember Magenta. They had some beautiful stamps. Just some keys falling. And I think that's all we're doing to this page. Yep. And we'll use some more of those on a different page, probably in another signature. Then we have the fabric flip page, which is done. I added a pink ledger for journaling. This page has a little strip of white where it was pulled from the printer incorrectly. I've learned to just use that as an opportunity. So this is a piece of textured wallpaper, and the green matches the green of those leaves very nicely. And it was just a strip that I had left over. I made the strip skinnier so I wouldn't cover up too much of that pattern, but it makes actually a nice accent even though it's covering up a mistake. And I think that's all I'm doing to this page. Yep. And that is the center of the signature. Let's see what we're doing on the back side. We did some of the back side. Here's the wallpaper piece. It's got the fabric flip on the front, but we're going to make a pocket on the back. I have this piece of paper for a pocket, and it's a scrap. It was in my scrap bin. So do I want to use the dots or the stripes? I really like the stripes, but I think the dots show up better. And I'm gonna just put this also scrap piece there, and I already inked around it, and I have one of the house numbers, and then I'm going to add one of the little metal filigree. They're very thin, so they don't add a lot of bulk. Oh, I should have decorated the pocket before I glued it on, but that's okay. It'll work. And these pockets are quite, I think they're attractive and so simple. And they are all made, well, these two pieces are scraps. And then I added, I want to tuck this up under, so I better do that. Then I added one little digital number and a little piece of metal filigree. So it's a nice pocket made with scraps. And it didn't take very long. I mean, of course it took longer for me to, you know, I had to prepare it. I had to find the papers and get them the right size, but really, in the scheme of things, it didn't take that long. This is my glossy accents, which I always use to glue down buttons and metal, because it does a great job. It takes longer to dry. I guess it's clear if it's popping the pin up like that. I'll just put some glossy accents around on here. I'll have to set this aside instead of putting it back into the signature while this dries. With the other book, I did all three at the same time, because I did one pocket for each signature, but I wanted to be able to glue the pieces on all at once while the glossy accents was unclogged. Now here I took a strip of that green coffee dyed paper. I just cut it to fit this card. Be an opener of doors, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Isn't that a gorgeous picture? And I like that the peachy colors go with that. And I think the colors, everything just looks nice together. So I sewed that on, and I'm just going to fold this paper. This was coffee dyed, and I put some salt on it. I sprinkled salt on it while it was wet, and it gives this speckled pattern. Seems very dark in here. Usually when I say that, and when I watch the video back, it looks not quite as dark as it does to me when I look in my picture viewer thing. This is just a tiny scrap of fabric that I use pinking shears on, and then this little bee came from another fabric with a peachy color and a piece of cheesecloth, and I sewed that, and I'm just going to glue it on. And I'm going to set this page aside to dry. And are we done? See this page, and this is the first book, one I did yesterday, and it had a bit of a wider white strip, and I just put a couple of strips of scrapbook paper there. I have to go back and finish some things. So a page like this might end up with something. I'm not sure. At this point. So I guess the only thing I want to do is put a stamp here. This stamp came with my little set of house stamps. if I can find it. Here it is. I used it yesterday. It just says, "Love makes a house a home." And actually, I stamped it on the page and it didn't leave a good impression. So I stamped it on that scrap of dyed paper. And I like the way that looks. So I think I'll just do that. That's pretty. And the O, or the center of the O, has a heart shape. Which is cute. I think it's the first time I've ever used that stamp out of this set. I've used the houses quite a bit and the trees a little bit. But I don't use all the pieces. This is the stamp I used to use to make my my little thank you cards. Like before I bought business cards, I used that. But it took, once my business picked up and I was selling so much stuff, I couldn't keep up with keeping those cards made. So I started buying business cards. And I haven't even done that in a while. I should probably go back to buying business cards to include in my orders, but at least in my journal orders, it'd be nice to have a business card. So I should probably buy some more. Alright, so there's that. And then this is an envelope that comes with the kit. And I will include a card. I'll ink that a bit and include a card in there. But if I put it that way, it adds some color and an image. It will be up against that page. So it's a nice little spread. And that's everything I was going to do. I just, like I said, I'll have some finishing up to do that I couldn't do on the video. So let's see if we can do a little something in the second signature while we've got just a few minutes. This is the one that's done. This is the one I'll be working on. Okay, again, we're going to put a house number there with the stamping. Don't want to use an oval one because we just did that. Some of them look very sleek and modern. I like the older looking ones. How about that one? There's my stamp. You know, if I was trying to line them up like that, I wouldn't be able to. But I don't care because I'm covering it and they're lined up great. Isn't that the way it goes? And on the back, I have this piece that we did on a previous video with another scrap of the press board. That's just going to be a tuck spot. I love this house number. Kind of looks like what I'm doing with this, my stamp and the numbers. I'll ink around that card, but that card will go in there. That will be a pocket. And I didn't put another pocket on this other page, which I should. I don't know why I didn't. See, this first book only has one pocket. Maybe I just wanted to leave journaling space. I don't usually cover up journaling space with images and pockets. I might do a little bit and then leave the rest of the space. Usually, but there are exceptions to the rules sometimes. Wipe that glob of glue off. And I will take another strip from my basket and just fold it. And that can go in there. And if I decide to come back and add another pocket to those pages, I will. This I'm going to cut out and make a little pocket like I did here. But I think that will be the end of our video. So I'm glad you came and hung out for a little while. See, my clock's chiming, my dryer is buzzing. It's time for me to vacate this room for a little bit. Hopefully I'll be able to come back later after all my other stuff and get some more work done on these journals. They're getting close to being done, and I'm loving them. I hope you're loving them too. I'll see you in the next video. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.